The best of Money Matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo, find the gap in the market to find the right business. Hello, I'm Hongbin Jeong. Now, music is a powerful tool for storytelling, brand identity, and audience engagement. From marketing campaigns and podcasts to retail spaces and video content, the right soundtrack can make all the difference. But accessing high-quality, commercially usable music has long been a challenge, and traditional licensing is expensive and complex, and stock music libraries often lack originality or brand alignment. Now, this is where Wubble.ai comes in. With a mission to revolutionize music creation for businesses, Wubble.ai is an enterprise-grade AI platform that generates high-quality, royalty-free music in seconds. So to share how Wubble.ai is transforming the way businesses create and use music, joining us today are Anand Roy, who is the founder and CEO, and Shaad Sufi, who is the co-founder and CPO of Wubble.ai. Welcome to the show, both.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us. All right, Anand, let's start with you. I mean, what specific challenges did you see in the music industry that led to the creation of Wubble.ai, and what made you think that AI could be the key to making music creation more accessible?
So the problem that we are solving at Wubble is a problem that I lived with in my previous job when I was running music for Disney. I'm a Disney veteran and I ran music for Disney for a very long time. And at that point, I saw just how expensive, time-consuming, mired in red tape commercial music licensing is as a process. Fun fact, the basic music licensing process hasn't changed in over 150 years.
Oh, wow.
I immediately saw this is a sector ripe for disruption, and it's just stayed like that because there are so many different stakeholders, all of whom wanting to hold on to their respective pieces of this land grab, and no one wants to sort of give it up. Hence, any sort of streamlining from within the industry was well nigh impossible. So I knew that this is sector ripe for disruption, and most probably it would need technological breakthrough. And that breakthrough was AI. When AI emerged, I finally saw a way in which we can sort of disrupt this. I found my comrade in arms, Shaad, and then together we are now building Wubble.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, after identifying this gap in the market, you guys created Wubble.ai, which has redefined how businesses access and create music by eliminating those licensing barriers and streamlining music production. So, Shaad, bringing you into the conversation here, can you walk us through your product offerings? I mean, what makes Wubble different from traditional stock music libraries or AI-generated sound platforms? How exactly does it work?
I think the crux of it's only data transformation, right? It's taking how accurately can you represent one bit of text into an audio and actual music that people engage with. So in terms of our product offerings, we've made sure to keep a very customer-centric point of view in terms of developing our own foundational model. So we have our own AI model that is generating music. But I think much more than that, it's not only generating music, but it's generating music for businesses. Now, businesses have their data basically distributed across all modalities, which means that there's text, audio, video, images, all kinds of data. So what we've done is basically added input pipelines so that not only do we basically ingest text, but you could put in your Instagram post, you could put in your daily Monday presentations, you could put in a PDF of a script that you're working on, and we can basically contextualize all that information and generate the right type of music for that. That being said, the next step in the process is that we understand that music is to be inherently felt, not engineered.
Right.
So because of that, we've basically reflected that on the model as well, which means that if you think that a certain audio or a certain music requires drums, you do not have to open a complex software with 300,000 buttons and then figure out what to do in order to add drums. You can just say add drums and it'll add drums. So it's basically conversational in that way. And the third thing is, because we've basically kept customer-centric approach towards this model development, we've made sure to have a small model approach. So at the crux of it, this is a transformer model, but I believe that what's even more important second is its size. With a very small size, we've been able to produce the fastest music generation model in the world.
Wow, I see. So, Anand, you've marketed it, Wubble.ai, as an enterprise-grade AI music platform capable of generating custom royalty-free tracks in seconds. What specific features make it truly enterprise-grade then?
Yeah, so we have basically ensured that Wubble can fit in seamlessly into the content workflow that any organization might have. We recognize that for most organizations, audio is not the beginning of the journey or the end of the journey, it's the part of the journey. We have very consciously designed a platform which is really easy to use, so it does not require advanced music knowledge. You don't need to know how to sing, how to play an instrument, how to read music. If you know how to chat on Wubble, you can create music. And again, that was an understanding that we had, that a lot of businesses, when they're creating content, when they're creating soundtracks, when they are creating background music for their stores or music for their games, a lot of them might not necessarily be trained musicians. So we made a platform that literally your 7-year-old niece can use without any issues at all. Plus, we have enabled a business that is built on a platform that allows for seamless plug-in into other workflows. So then basically you can create and download a song in under 15 seconds and then plug that into the Instagram post that you're making or the ad that you are working on right now, or just plug it into the soundtrack for the coffee store that you are running right now. All of those ease of uses, clearly separates us from the other players in the field.
I see. Well, one of Wubble's biggest advantages is its ability to create tailor-made music almost instantly, like you've mentioned there. Shaad, can you explain how your AI actually composes, customizes, and refines soundtracks for different businesses' needs?
To be honest, up till today, even I don't understand, but I'll try my best. So basically what it does is that it's following the principles of each, I'd say, transformer model, AI model, which is basically in the realm right now. It is basically similar to how ChatGPT operates, but it's very, very unique in the parts where it basically generates audio. So like in a way, what it does is that it divides basically any sort of text document, any sort of image down into its smallest bytes. It then goes through a dictionary that basically translates that small byte into understanding what it basically represents if it were audio. As I said, it's basically at the crux of it, it's data transformation. And then from that, token by token, it sort of understands, okay, this is what I have to create. What I feel is the most amazing part about this model is that even after it's generated music, if you ask it to basically add a trumpet or remove the drums or anything like that, it sort of contextually understands where exactly the drum is based in the track, and then how should I remove it without sort of destroying the entire essence of that music. So yeah, that's basically how it's working.
I see.
He's being very, very modest right now. He knows exactly how the model works. He has built it.
No, I did doubt it 1 second that you didn't know. Well, I mean, you guys also help brands establish a very unique sound identity. So just diving in a little deeper here, Anand, how does Wubble's AI-driven music generation cater to different industries? And can you share a case study where a business successfully used Wubble to, elevate its branding and engagement?
Yeah, so we are right now seeing use cases in 4 sectors. So one is the marketing sector. So marketing agencies, advertising agencies, content creators, marketing teams of large organizations. You can imagine where Wubble very easily fits into that workflow. The second bucket is what we call atmospherics, basically music for a business where they sort of interact with their consumers. So think food and beverage, think hospitality, think, retail, wellness, fitness, that entire space which needs music in their primary place of business. The third vertical is of course, media and entertainment. So like organizations such as yours, Disney, NBC Universal, Warner, all of whom we are working with right now. Gaming companies where they basically need music either in the background or in the foreground of their shows, whether it's long form, short form, games, series, movies, all of that, Wubble can sort of play a role. The fourth use case is where Wubble sort of plugs into tech platform. That could be software or hardware. We have conversations going on with some of the biggest names right now in that space, where basically Wubble plugs into an existing software or hardware platform to then enable that business to then offer customized music creation as a differentiator to their final customer. I think one example I can give you is what we are doing with Starbucks in South Korea, where we are providing music in store for their stores in Seoul. This is a very massive opportunity for us because, I don't know whether you know this, but Starbucks every year spends $72 million on music licensing.
No way.
Yeah. And then when you sort of contextualize that number against, say, what a McDonald's is spending, what a KFC is spending, just that sector suddenly becomes massive. And any way in which we can help these brands, we can help these companies bring that bill down, that immediately is a win-win. So then we are right now working with Starbucks in Seoul, and through 2025, we'll be looking to expand beyond.
Amazing.
And that's just one of the many, many use cases that we've seen in our very young history.
But it's very interesting to learn that Starbucks puts a lot of money into these kind of musics, and how you guys are taking that opportunity and advantage to your company is amazing. So, I mean, AI-generated music has sparked discussions, though, about ethics and copyright, and Wubble exclusively trains on royalty-free data sets to ensure responsible AI use. So, Shaad, what measures do you take to guarantee ethical AI practices and copyright-free content?
I believe the biggest sort of, say, insurance that we do take is that we only train on royalty-free music. So we have basically an entire legal procedure, which Anand can tell you more about. We follow that to the crim to basically understand that each part of music that is entering to our model for training is completely royalty-free. Additionally, we also ensure measures which is called seeding in transformer models. This approach sort of guarantees that every time you sort of produce music, it's not like the others. It's never going to repeat. So there's no pattern that can essentially form and then create some bias that would affect any sort of future outputs.
I see.
Yeah, sure. The royalty-free grounding of our data sets was very, very important because, again, and we are both musicians ourselves, and I have a long history in the music business. I knew just how important copyright is, and for us to build a business the right way, we had to be respectful of that. So we sort of sourced royalty-free data sets from around the world. Believe me, it wasn't easy, but it is. When you're doing things right, things very rarely are easy, right? So we source these data sets from around the world. We have a very strong legal team, and they basically evaluated and did a complete check on the flow of rights of each of these tracks. And only when our head of legal would clear a track would Shaad and team then be able to use it. So then we had basically checks at two levels. Check one, where we are checking at the source itself that this source is indeed a source of royalty-free music. And then when we get that library, each song would then be checked through a detailed and very painstaking flow of rights process to ensure that, yes, this song is indeed royalty-free for us to train on.
I see. Well, you both mentioned there that you both are musicians. So how do you view those who say that AI could take over the roles of musicians? Would that ever happen?
No, I don't think that's going to happen at all. And obviously, I can speak only for ourselves. What we are doing here is sort of meeting a need that's been there for many, many years. And the need has gone unmet because of the nature of this requirement. Like, at the speed at which businesses are moving today, businesses need customized music fast. They need it instantly, and that's not how the music industry works. True inspiration takes time. True human craft takes time. So for those projects where music needs to be turned around fast, in an instant, with almost infinite iterations, that's where Wubble comes in. Where, see, AI can get to a point where it's very good technically. Where it'll never get to the human level is in terms of vulnerability. And that is why a lot of people listen to music. Wubble will never be able to talk about how its old boyfriend broke up with it. And just because of that, the role that Wubble plays is going to be very limited to what we're doing. And we are very happy to continue playing there because we think that's a big enough market. For all boyfriend and heartbreak related issues, I think that space is being addressed very well. We don't need to step in there at all.
So you're saying that Wubble will never take over Taylor Swift's job?
Oh, we can't even dream of doing it now.
All right. So to wrap up our conversation here, looking ahead, what exciting developments can we expect from Wubble? Are there any new features, partnerships, or expansions on the horizon, Shaad?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that one thing we sort of identified was that the core technology that we built sort of can be applied to other areas as well, which are in the audio domain. So think about audio effects, think about basically voiceovers, all of the things that businesses use that are basically within the audio domain can be basically applied to Wubble and then can be produced by the same model that we are basically using to produce music for today. Essentially transforming the entire business's audio requirements into one model, packaging that into one model and making it as intelligent as possible. Now there's a difference between basically creating music and then creating engaging music. So going forward, one of the core requirements would be for us to basically create audio content, not only music but voiceovers and audio effects and anything else, but also create it in a way where it basically, impacts positively the emotions of the people who are listening to it for any use case that basically being applied to.
I see. Well, thank you so much both for joining me today.
Thank you for having us. This was fun.
That was Anand Roy, who is the founder and CEO, and Shaad Sufi, who's the co-founder and CPO of Wubble.ai. This has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.